You asked for it. Here it is. It's a podcast from Apathetic Enthusiasm.
In this episode, we talk about things and stuff. We've been in the house too long. It's Apathetic Enthusiasm.
Hey, everybody, it's Apathetic Enthusiasm, brought to you by World News.
By Menon.
Men in pajama bottoms. I am one of your hosts, Brandon Cruz, and over there...
Hello, I'm Travis. I should probably point my microphone at my face. Hi, everybody. How's it going? I'm very curious. Are you in fact wearing pajama pants?
No, I'm actually wearing shorts. I'm a damned liar. I'm also wearing a shirt from a run I went on in 2019.
I am wearing pajama pants.
Are you? Oh, you are.
Yeah. I try not to not wear pajama pants. I will tell you, and we'll get to the must say things here in a minute. But I'm actually doing my laundry right now. My laundry is in the machines that I use for cleaning clothes, and I couldn't help but notice as I was loading clothes into the washing machine that everything was either loungewear or workout clothes. So, so that's where my life's at right now.
Very, very, very similarly, I've only seen one pair of underwear go into the washing machine in about 3. Wait a minute.
Wait a minute. Anyway, welcome everybody to Apathetic Enthusiasm, the show where we talk about things and current events. If you want to keep up with us and see what we're doing between episodes, occasionally we post things on our social media, to include on Twitter at Apathusiast. I'm at Joe Gomino. He's at Barnyard Cruise. You can follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/Apathetic Enthusiasm Show, or send us an email, apatheticenthusiasmshow@gmail.com. We're also on Instagram, apathetic_enthusiasm. And all of our podcasts and other web-based content typically is found at apatheticenthusiasm.com. We got some folks rolling in over on Twitch, twitch.tv/apatheticenthusiasm, or over on youtube.com/apatheticenthusiasm. Those are the places where you can catch the show live every Monday night, 9 Eastern, 8 Central, earlier if you're on the West Coast. It's probably like 6, something like that. I don't know. It depends. And of course, you can support the show over at apatheticenthusiasm.com/shop. That'll take you to our TeePublic page where you can buy t-shirts that we have curated, including t-shirts with our faces on them, if that's the sort of thing you want to wear. And of course, yeah, I mean, I would expect it's the case. And then all the lovely people over at patreon.com/Rick and Morty Pod who are supporting the show financially. You guys are awesome. And all the people supporting financially on Twitch, because there's a few of you doing that as well. If last week's episode is any indication.
Is it in the end? You know, I have a hard time.
Brandon, you're drunk. Go home.
In my head, I was like, Erie, Indiana Jones, any indication? That's
Erie, Indiana. Yeah.
We should just find Erie, Indiana again, and then just cover it from start to finish.
Yeah, Apathetic Enthusiasm, the Erie, Indiana podcast. Finally find that core subject material that we're going to be known for.
We said we were going to go niche, and by God, we're going as niche as they come.
So niche. So niche. How are you guys doing? How if you're in the chat, say hello. Let us know that you're here. We are in week 4 of Quarantcast, stay-at-home pods, the epidemic, the pandemic that is COVID-19 across the world is keeping us at home a lot more often, and I really want to explore in this episode sort of what impacts they've had on our daily lives, what changes that we're kind of experiencing, and kind of look out to the internet and the world at large to see how others are spending their quarantine. How are you doing? We record on Monday nights.
Mm-hmm.
Like, did the weekend feel any more like a weekend than it should have?
It felt like a weekend this last weekend, and here's what we did. Chelsea and I, we said to ourselves. Well, actually, we didn't say it to ourselves. Our kid wanted to go camping, right? And we're like, oh, let's have it be fun, and we'll set up the tent in the living room. Um, well, this is last weekend, and so I got this 8-person tent, and I moved all the couches out of the way, and I started setting it up, and then I realized it needs to be staked in to keep the poles from to bent, right?
Yeah,
Okay, well, I'm not about to stake things through the tile
just
floor.
will not commit, will not
I
stake your.
won't do it. And in the backyard, I'm like, well, then we could take it. We could take the tent outside. We can set it up outside. And I'm like, but there's like, it's nighttime already. There's probably dog crap out there. And now we're not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. So what we actually decided to do was we're like, hey, we'll camp next weekend, and we hopped online that night and we ordered a tent for the inside. It connects to a box fan, and so you turn the box fan on and it inflates the tent.
That's
Uh,
pretty cool.
got that. We bought like a little like stove, like a small s'more stove, right? Which is just like a single burner.
Okay. Yeah.
We did that. I went and I got some s'mores to make, got some popcorn, and we had a popcorn maker, and just I grilled up some hot dogs. Next night, I grilled up some chicken.
Oh, I saw a picture of that chicken. It looked real good.
I felt Saturday night. You're like Xbox, and I was already asleep,
You
passed
were
out in
out.
the tent.
Well, and let's expand that story a little bit because you had messaged me not maybe a half hour earlier, and you're like, "Oh, what are you doing? I'm so bored. I just want to. What do we do?"
True.
And like, I'm pretty sure I was playing Animal Crossing, which we'll get to. But I was playing Animal Crossing at the time, and I was like, I mean, we just played a bunch of D&D the night before. Maybe I should hang out with the family, and then my wife was like, "Let's watch some chick flick with my daughter." And I'm like, "You guys have fun with that." And I immediately pulled out my phone and I'm like, "Brandon, Xbox?" Question mark.
I there were so many things I was supposed to do Saturday night, which was like the Xbox. We're gonna play Grand Theft Auto, and my friend Aaron, old size mode. We were gonna do GTA, and what ended up happening is Matt, he's a newscaster in Idaho, and they're short staffed right now, so he got pulled into. He usually does the morning show, but he got uh, pulled into doing helping with the night stuff and the weekend stuff. So he was like swamped. Friday he couldn't play.
Man, finally getting
Saturday,
that big break doing the evening news.
yeah, Saturday he was swamped, and I don't think he finished until like late at night. And by that point in time, he's like, "I'm dead to the world. I hate everybody." Um, and so in the process of waiting, when it gets to like 9:30, and I'm like sitting on the couch with the Xbox controller, just indecisive. I'm like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. I guess I'll just close my eyes and let let all decisions go.
Just drift off into the sweet abyss that is sleep.
I
So
did the other day.
you
Did not sleep, but I broke down. It's a weird thing. I broke down stress wise. This is before the weekend, where teleworking. I got into an argument with some folks at work, and I was already like, there's a real thing called decision fatigue. Look it up. I looked it up specifically,
just
and
just just to make a point, he was like, "No, really, I'm tired of making decisions." It's a thing. Look, I googled it.
it is a thing. But after the fight, I went into my garage and I was like, oh, let me find something to makeshift fix the screened in patio in my backyard. And I was looking through my toolbox. I'm like, oh, there's nothing. And I looked down at the floor of my garage, and then I was like, I'm laying down now. And I lay down on the floor of my garage with my dog for about 10 minutes, just staring up, not sleeping, just
Had a
being like,
had just a short mental breakdown, just a little one, a quibby as they're calling it these days in the chat.
let me break
A
down.
little quibby breakdown, and then right back to it, right back. Yeah, that's frustrating, but I feel you in that, and for me, it happened a couple weeks ago where I was trying to kind of get into that new rhythm of working from home and figuring out my schedule and figuring out how to be productive and while at the same time motivate others to be productive and lead them toward their telework and feeling like they just could care less about it. And then there was like a day where I was just like, yeah, I this is stressful and frustrating and I don't like it. And then I like laid down or I may have played some Animal Crossing. And then I was like, okay, we're better. We'll move on. It is funny also that the way I spend my relax and decompression time is by doing monotonous tasks on a virtual island over and over again, day after day. But again, we'll get to that.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. I linked decision fatigue out there to a New York Times article, um, because yeah, it goes ends up talking about Obama and Steve Jobs and Zuckerberg, right? Where they're like their outfits are just they have just a few outfits. That way they don't have to worry. That's like one less decision they have to deal with.
Yeah, yeah,
Just pushing on. And it's not until you're like making a bunch of decisions that you realize that eventually you're like, I don't want to make a decision anymore. I just look, pick Taco Bell or pick McDonald's. I don't care. Just make a decision for me.
yeah. No, I 100% get that. I feel that real. I'm gonna copy that link. Hold on, leave me a second. From the folks out in chat, Philip Mark says doing lots of cooking and baking, kayaking, West Wing. So we'll digest those one at a time. Cooking and baking, yes,
Mhm.
that is happening a lot in my home as well. My wife has made the cinnamon rolls that are a copycat recipe from the Main Street cinnamon rolls in the Magic Kingdom at Walt Disney World.
Oh, oh.
Those things are like the size of my head. She's making them and they got all this like making them from scratch and stuff, and then I'm helping her roll them out on the counter so that we can put them in these dishes. And the first pan, like I put 6 of them in there, and they've got like probably 2 or 3 inches between each roll, right?
Mhm.
And I'm like, yeah, that's probably good because these things are gonna rise a lot more. And she's like, yeah, I don't know. And then she makes a pan where they're like touching each other, and I'm like, I don't think that's. And so the next morning, we put them in the fridge. The pan that I had made created these giant cinnamon rolls, 6 in the pan. I will share with our
6 in a pan.
6 in a pan, right? So like sharing with the video folks, like these are like prior to being baked.
Those aren't even made yet.
They're not even made yet, right? They're
Things huge, man.
gigantic. But
I think
uh,
if that's like James and the Giant Peach, but it's cinnamon rolls.
the cinnamon rolls that my wife put in the pan, I opened the fridge the next morning and they're like spilling out of the container and running down. Yeah, that's it has a lid on it and it has cinnamon rolls have exploded out of the container. So that turned into a cinnamon roll casserole type thing where she just baked the whole pan and then we cut it up.
Huh.
It all tasted the same, but those things, uh, yeah, I've been working out daily as part of this whole work at home thing,
That's good.
and man, I need to because of some of the delicious food being produced. All of my kids want to make different batches of cookies, so cookies are continuing to be baked at a fever pace. And yeah, not a fever of over like 103.
Sure, sure, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Let's we don't want to freak anybody out, but
I'm
yeah,
very
A lot of cooking and baking. Lot of cooking. What are you guys
Yeah.
cooking?
Chelsea talks about taking the kid and making cookies, and I think that's supposed to happen soon. But we basically we just eat a lot of Oreos and Chips Ahoy.
Yes.
Uh, um, and here's the one thing I've noticed about all of this is we go through a lot of snacks. Uh, when I was a kid, and maybe when you were a kid as well, my parents would hide the high interest snack items in like their bedrooms. They're like Coca-Cola. Uh, my parents would be like, where's all the Coke? Brandon and Tim drank all the damn Coke. All right. Well, they started hiding it in the bedroom. Same thing with like certain brands of chips and stuff like that too. Um, not that I'm hiding anything, but I
Oh shoot.
I keep
The office. Are those double stuff, bro?
yeah, man.
Man, I think the last time I had a double stuff Oreo was in your house.
I I just I don't keep it to hide. I keep it as like a backstock because if it's not seen, then it doesn't get eaten as fast, right? And then like when they're all gone and someone's like, I'm craving this, then I'm like, I'll be right
I
back.
got you. Yeah, I think it was okay, so Valentine's Day I got a bunch of candy. I'm pretty Easter's coming up. I'm pretty sure I'll probably get some like Reese's eggs or something like that. Starburst jelly beans. I know that that's happening. I know. So
Oh,
if you
the best
the best.
by
Uh,
far.
back right up in this corner is a Death Star cookie jar.
Oh,
And that is where my candy stash goes. So if you guys ever are ever in the podcast studio, that is where the candy goes. That is just for
good.
me, and not shared. But it's good because it's tucked away. It's closed, so I don't. If it was like on the desk here,
Uh,
yeah, I would eat it twice as fast. It's no willpower when it comes to the sweets.
um, real quick, Philip Mark says the justification of hiding cookies is hilarious. Yeah, the weird thing about it is like I'm not eating these. I will eat them when they're open and they're in the cabinet, and also the chocolate that's in the closet too. That for Chelsea. I don't eat any of that, but it's like it's wrapped up. It's a backup supply. I'm not hiding it. I'm a secondary store. Consider me like a warehouse, right?
You're the backs. They're like, oh man. They go to the front. They're like, oh, they're out of Oreos, and they're like, see you walk through, like, hey, excuse me, you got any double stuff in the back? Is there anything back there?
Yeah, well, yeah. Let me check just one second. I'll just go back and I come back here and shuffle stuff, I
Yeah,
move
you
some.
play a video game, you check your email, and then you're like, sorry, we don't got anything in the back. It's
I get the box mover, like the weird like what the hell is this thing? That dolly. I go through some like 25-pound turkeys. Like no. By the way, Thanksgiving. This is a Thanksgiving topic, but I always hated during the Thanksgiving time because people just like want if there's a 25-pound turkey out there and there's a 23-pound turkey out there, someone's gonna come up to me and they'll be like, "Hey, do you have any 24-pound turkeys in the back?" Like, there's it's right. Just go 1 pound bigger or 1 pound lower. Yeah, they can be fine.
You
Trust
just
me.
round it. I mean, somebody's either gonna not get seconds, or there's gonna be leftovers. Either way, round up. You'll have you'll have sandwiches the next day. It'll be fine.
It's
Alex Richmond saying, get you some hot buns. I don't know what hot buns are. Do you know what hot buns are?
oh, I know what hot buns are. If it's a food item, I don't know, but
Oh, oh.
that's what I was called in college.
Hey.
Oh,
We were watching Onward on Disney Plus this weekend, and my wife, without any warning, decides to bake a pan of croissants, and she put Nutella in the croissants before she baked them,
oh, yeah.
and then she served them with vanilla ice cream. And I'm like, how did I get so lucky? What did I do to deserve
That's-
those croissants were friggin' bomb, man. They were really good.
yeah. Chelsea, talking about the Nutella. Chelsea wanted to put. She's like, we don't need Hershey's chocolate for the s'mores. We'll just put Nutella on the graham crackers. I'm like, I don't even like s'mores that much, but it's not a s'more if you don't put the chocolate on it. It's, I mean, the or part of s'more is chocolate,
But there's
obviously.
but I mean, there's a point when you like accept life the way that it is, and there's a point where you push it to the next level. And those are the changes that create, real innovation. So
Real innovation, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
you work with what you have. You work with what you have. Wow, we're talking a lot about food. I'm getting a little hungry.
Um, well, for those who are listening, for those who are watching, just know that we didn't have really a set of topics. We just wanted to get out there. We wanted to get out there and hang out with you and talk with you and just hang out.
The show must go on. So we have minimal things to talk about, but we will bleed them dry as much as we can, and continue to take your suggestions over on Twitch. So I did scour the internet a little bit. I perusing the Reddits as I often do, and I'm noticing a trend. I'm seeing a little bit of it on Facebook, a little bit of it on Reddit, but and I don't know where this came from, but I keep seeing people posting pictures of themselves recreating like famous paintings, like fine art paintings,
Sure.
and with stuff that they have around the house. And I'm like, is this a normal thing, or is this like a corn trend? Is this something where people, they're like 3-4 weeks in now and they're like, oh man, what are we gonna do? We already all did the same TikTok dance, and everybody's already watched Tiger King. What's next? And so they're finding random paintings on the internet and recreating them. I can see if I can find one of these to give you an example, but
Okay. Yeah,
okay.
yeah. I appreciate it because I you talk about this, and I'm on Twitter probably more than I will ever need to be on Twitter in like the last week, and I haven't seen any of this stuff. The
So,
most I've seen is like pick 6 characters and I will remake the 6 characters.
so this is a recreation of Salvador Dali and Gaia, painting by Nikola Golubowski. But so the top one is the painting,
Okay.
right?
Oh, that's a
Yeah, this is
I think it
Salvador,
it's like a
and that
snail.
and then there's the recreation that
Oh,
somebody where and if I can try to explain this to you,
yeah,
uh,
yeah.
the the painting is Salvador Dali as a snail, and then a woman riding on top of the snail's shell with a long flowing red dress. And then the recreation, there's a dude wrapped in a towel with a Salvador Dali mustache. That is the front of the snail, and then a lady riding on some cushions with like some red blankets, creating sort of the swooshed. Uh, yeah, I don't know. I, I don't know if this is like a trend, but this is the third one I've seen in the last couple days. Maybe if you just go to r/pics over on the Reddits, uh,
Reddits. Huh?
maybe you can find some more of these. But the creativity that. Okay, yeah, here's another one. Tried recreating girl with a pearl earring for the Getty Museum Challenge. That's what this is. See, we're learning together. The
Oh,
Getty Museum Challenge. Do a quick Google search. So here's a guy recreating the girl with the pearl earring, and he's got toilet paper on top of his head because it's topical, right? This is someone doing Pablo Picasso's painting a woman with a bird, and she like painted the side of her face. Let's see if we can get focus here. Yeah, look at that. Look at
there's one.
that.
There's one with a pug.
So yeah, check out these. I guess it's the Getty Museum Challenge. But these are awesome. I feel like we need to do these, Brandon.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Fuck. Alex Richmond says, "Is now the time where you both show us your pictures?" But also says next week we'll have a Brandon and Travis recreation. Uh, yeah. I guess that's something that we need to fit in with also our Muppet challenge.
Yeah, so let's get into that. So other quarantine crafts taking place because people are getting really creative when they're stuck at home with little else to do. We hinted over the last week about our puppet challenge, how we're gonna make puppets this month.
Hmm.
We're already 6 days into the month. I haven't even drawn a design yet, which is usually where my brain starts. How is your progress coming, Brandon?
Oh, let's talk about my progress. You talk about drawing a design. I don't know what that even means. I'm just gonna start. When I get the materials, I'm gonna just start slapping things together based off the guide that we both looked at. But
Yeah.
that materials, that's the key part here. And so today, as I'm driving before I start driving home from work, I say, okay, Joann's Fabrics or whatever, there's one by my house that's about 30, 40 minutes away. What I'll do is I'll order curbside. So I sat in the parking lot and I ordered everything I thought I would need for the Muppet, the puppet Muppet, whatever. And then it's like I paid. It sent me an email and it said, okay, we got your order, but don't show up to the store until we send you another email letting you know that it's ready to go. And I said, cool, email. And the email didn't respond back to me because it's just an email.
It's just an email. It doesn't have sentience.
I drove to the Joann's Fabric, and as I was driving past it, I'm like, there's a lot of people waiting in line to get into Joann's Fabrics. And I still didn't have an email. I parked. I talked to my mom on the phone for a little bit, and we're like, "Hey, what's going on?" Nothing. Same as the other times we've talked to each other because there's
Because nothing is happening ever.
anything. And I sat there for like another 40 minutes. I didn't get an email. I'm like, all right, you know what? I'll wait till I'll come back tomorrow. I drove off. That line was still as long with basically the same amount of people in it. Um, the same people, sorry, not the same amount of people, but the same people. And I'm like, "All right, great, I'm out of here." I got home and I told Chelsea about it. I'm like, "Man, people really are into this arts and crafts thing, right? Right? Joanne's Fabrics." And she's like, "Well, people are trying to make their own masks." Like, "Oh,
Oh yes, yes,
oh, right,
yeah.
fabric store masks."
It's I am genuinely shocked that you did not put two and two together until Chelsea told you why all those people were waiting at the fabric
Like,
store.
how much fabric do you need for for masks, you know? Oh, unless, like, people are, like, making a business model out of it.
Well, a
But
lot
yeah.
of our old pals and acquaintances that we've met through our Comic Con days. A lot of uh, cosplayers and things like that that have the sewing skills. I keep seeing lots of them making masks, and I mean it doesn't seem like the most complicated project to work on. I feel like if you have a basic understanding, well, A, if you have a sewing machine, and B, have the material, it seems like something you could put together relatively easily. And then yeah, there is definitely going to be a need for them as the CDC puts out, the advisement to everyone that recommends people should wear masks out in public, and that because people can be asymptomatic and still spread the virus and still be carriers, that it's a good thing to have. It's a good thing. I mean, social distancing is great, but it is an extra level that you can practice to
Yeah.
to make things even better. I watched a random video at some point last week where uh, they had like a high speed camera showing the effectiveness of masks,
Mhm.
and because of like the intent of the video was to show like the moisture particles in the air, and how even though it's not an airborne virus, how those droplets can float in the air. And the video showed this dude sneezing, but it wasn't like a guy who's like trying to sneeze into his elbow or anything even remotely polite. It was
Yeah.
just a dude full on just like and just gunk
It's-
coming out of his face, and they show it from this angle. And it was really gross, but then they like show, okay, now he's got a mask on and he sneezes and it catches a bunch of particles and things like that.
Particle man, doing things that a particle can. Lives his life, it's not important. Particle man. They might be giants. Sorry.
Yeah,
That-
no, it's good.
it's from Tiny Toon Adventures. That's one of the. Um,
But yeah,
Yeah.
so wear a mask, stay inside,
But-
6
it-
feet,
but-
social distance, all those
But it
things.
pisses me off, right? It pisses me off because I really want my material to make a Muppet, and people are trying to be, stay safe and shit. But I'm like, I want to win this challenge. I want to win this Muppet challenge.
And guys, I've tried on multiple occasions to tell Brandon that just because it's the internet, so everything is a challenge. Like it's the ice bucket challenge, it's the this challenge. It's not because we're competing with each other. It's just the challenge is, can we make a puppet in a month? Can we actually do it?
Can we do it? Yeah.
And Brandon's response is, "It's a challenge. I'm going to win. I will defeat you, Travis. Your children will know of your failures."
This is a month of challenges. I feel like I've seen more challenges, right, in the month of April than I've seen other months. For instance,
Getty Museum Challenge, maybe.
that's right. Yeah, I'm doing on my Twitter at Barnyard Cruise. I'm doing the 30 days song challenge, which is basically just like every day is a different type of song, and then you say the song.
Yeah. Where are you doing that? Facebook?
On Twits, on the Twitters.
On the Twitters.
Yeah,
A lot of people are putting those in their Instagram stories.
Yeah. I don't have an Instagram.
I noticed that because I tried to tag you in something the other day, and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
weird.
I've got S4YA, Rick and Morty.
I know you've got 3 different accounts on Instagram. None of them are of you. Yeah.
I guess like the apathetic enthusiasm one is the most that is me.
Yeah.
Because I tend to put any
You
personal
just put random stuff of yourself on there, and then you like followed all your high school friends, and
Yeah.
and
No,
like
it was tied to my Facebook, and so then all my high school friends were like, oh yeah, let me follow Brandon. Oh yeah. And since my dumbass face is like front and center on that thing, there's like,
yeah, I'm just
right?
chilling back, like, yep, that's us,
Good impression.
apathetic enthusiasts. Yeah, so we need to work on our puppets. I want you to draw sometime in the next 2 days. Just sort of in the best way you can. Just an idea for what you think like you're going for with your puppet, and then I'll do the same. We'll post them on our socials.
Okay.
We'll throw it up on Instagram. People can vote on their favorites or something. Yeah, but Sloppy Joe will be. Oh, Sloppy Joe's coming out to talk. Thanks to the folks submitting their channel points over on Twitch.
All right.
But yeah, Sloppy Joe is the inspiration for this whole thing. He's the reason we're getting into this puppet business in the first place.
That's right. So you, Alex, you invoked the Sloppy Joe time. But what you need to do is you need to tell us what you want Sloppy Joe is to talk about, and so we'll give you a few minutes to decide that. We'll monitor chat for it. Yeah, what the hell. Oh, by Philip Marks. Yeah. So in Twitch, the more you watch, the more channel points you get, app enthusiast point, whatever. It's just basically like a
Little
viewer,
bits.
viewership kind of like, oh, you watched 10 minutes, oh, you get 10 points, and so on and so forth, stuff like that. And we make stupid things to redeem. So, for example, there's a thing where I talk like my dog. There's a thing where I take Sloppy Joe now, and then I talk with him.
Yeah. Is
Lots
that
of
the one
me-
you is that the one you just added tonight?
Yeah. I added I made it higher. I made it 1,500 points. Anyway,
I like this one. Can Sloppy Joe read us Travis's recipe for 6 rolls in a pan?
do you have the recipe?
No, I
Is
don't
it?
have the recipe. No.
Oh, okay. Here,
You have to make it up.
okay. All right. Sloppy Joe's always right next to me. For those who are listening on the podcast, this isn't the best visual for you, but just imagine, just go to our YouTube channel, go to our Twitch, find this episode at around the 36-minute mark. You will see me pull out a disembodied head of Travis's puppet, Sloppy Joe, which is I say stupid things and then they just kind of stick. Okay. All right. Sloppy Joe
Hey,
reads,
hey, Sloppy Joe. You want to make some cinnamon rolls?
"Do I ever want to make some cinnamon rolls? Well, I have a perfect recipe. It's your recipe, Travis." Well, first you start off with some milk and some butter, and you combine the two to make buttermilk. It's, I think, well, my mom, she used to say, Sloppy Joe, don't mix that butter and that milk. Those two things don't go together. Uh, then you add some flour to it, some cinnamon, some candy. I like to put in some M&Ms and some Skrittles.
Some scriddles?
Yeah, some
What's
Skrittles.
what's a scriddle?
It's a shrimp dipped in candy coating.
Well, these sound pretty delicious, Sloppy Joe.
Oh yeah, and then you put it in the oven for about 1,500 minutes.
Do you turn the oven on, or do they just sit in there and you wait?
Nope. You just wait. You let the weight of the world cook it.
That's been Sloppy Joe makes six in a pan rolls.
Sloppy Joe's got a good point, right? Because if you think about like plate tectonics and how the world heats up, right? Like the pressure cooks the core of the earth, and then the heat rise. I mean, he's got a solid point.
He knows what he's talking about. He definitely does.
Right.
Yeah. So maybe Sloppy Joe will have some friends. This is gonna turn into a puppet podcast. I can feel it. It's gonna happen. We're gonna start doing Dark Crystal reviews and yeah, Dan Harmon's Sloppy Joe minute. All right. Moving on. From crafts to games. Lots of people are finding different ways to fill their time. And my kids are no exception. They're stuck at home. They don't get to go to school. They don't get to hang out with their friends. And so what do a lot of young people do? The same thing Brandon and I do. They get on the internet. They play video games with each other. And it has been the case up until this monumentous occasion that is COVID-19, that I have not allowed my son to utilize any like chat features or voice talking features in video games. Typically, there's for a couple of reasons. One, because I don't want any creepy people talking to my kid. They come on Twitch and talk to us while we podcast. And I also I don't want my son to be that kid where, like, when you're playing like Halo 2 and there's that kid that's like, oh, I'm gonna kick your ass. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Your mom's a big fat broad.
Yeah, your mom's fat. Yeah, I don't want that to be my kid either.
I call your mom. I tried to push her back in the water.
So, uh, yeah, he hasn't been allowed to do that, and I'm like, always play solos. Don't do any of that stuff, right? But now he's got some friends like who they're all playing Fortnite, and he wants to play with his friends, do squads with his friends, and I'm like, he can't really hang out with them any other way. It's what I would want to do. So yeah, sure, you and your two friends from class can play squads together or whatever, and uh, I have to listen to him yelling in the living room because he's got the headphones on for his audio, and then he's shouting. But it has brought to my attention the importance in life of gaming etiquette
Yeah.
and
I have a story right there with you along these lines. Keep going.
what is our responsibility as parents, as people that grew up with video games, to like pass on to that next generation of like, because I don't want my kid to be the D-bag in voice chat. So like, and I don't want him to be the one that's like, spawn camping or stealing other people's kills, those sorts of things. So like you've experienced this already in your house, is it, or is this something that happened to you?
No, it's along the lines of like voice chatting.
Mm-hmm.
It's not necessarily for my son because I don't have him voice chatting, and he doesn't have very many friends yet. He's 8. He doesn't have a lot of friends to play with uh to play online games with so
Right.
far. Like he's on like Facebook Messenger for kids to talk to like one of his friends who's a girl, and like they share things back and forth. But along those lines, not necessarily game chat, but the chat in general of like video chat and stuff like that. I guess we can relate. Is he'll start like a voice chat with her, or even like your oldest daughter, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then he'll be like, he'll just start playing with like the photos or like the filters, and then he won't actually talk. And we'll be like, "Hey man, if you're gonna call people, you gotta talk to them. That's the point of it. It's to talk to
Yeah.
you. You have to talk
You
to
got.
them.
Hey, can I call you? Sure.
Funny picture, funny face. Oh look, oh I'm a leprechaun now. Yeah, and like no, if you're gonna call people, you have to talk to them. Yeah, and so kind of have the opposite thing with him. But how do you teach that? We don't have we're not
Yeah, and
when we
what
were
it
kids,
what
we
it
had
what
playing
it's
phone.
amounted to right now is like, I'll be sitting there and I'm just hitting those trees, crafting those items, storing up those eggs, and I'll hear my son like talking to his friends in chat, and he'll like say the same thing 3 times, or like he'll be like, "Hey, I need a med kit. Anybody got a med kit? Hey, you got a med kit? Hey, if there's another med kit, let me get that med kit." And I'm just like, bro, bro,
Right.
like, don't be that guy. Don't like, maybe be like, hey, if anyone finds a med kit, I'm at this percent health. Like, I could use one. Throw it out there. Let them know, like, hey guys, for the sake of the squad, like my health's pretty low. If anyone could hook it up, daps, right? But don't be like, oh, if there's a med kit, that's mine. That's mine. Give me that. That's mine. Like, because basically anytime I hear him say something that would annoy me if I was in a game, I'm just kind of like,
Stop.
I'm like, bro, don't don't do that. And so like I was watching him today because he plays like a true elite gamer on the Switch. So he's he's playing Fortnite on the Switch, and it's up on the TV, and I see him like get into a fight. He knocks one guy, someone else knocks another guy, and then he gets knocked, right? And so then he gets rezzed and gets up and runs to the guy that someone else had knocked and like kills him and then like starts looting the body. And I was like, bro, that's not your kill. Like, like, like that's somebody else's like loot. You go for the scraps. After he was good enough to come back and res you instead of going
Yeah.
and like looting that. So, but again, he's young. He needs to learn these things, and he will learn them in time. But it is just funny to like watch him play and be like, oh man, that would bug me. That would bug me so much if you were doing that. Good
Uh,
luck to your friends. I'm kind of waiting for like day 3 or 4 to go roll by when he's just like, yeah, I'm not really playing with my friends today. They said they just wanted to play something else, or they wanted to try solos, and I'd be like, okay, let's have a talk.
you know,
But again, like they're all that same age, so I'm pretty sure they're all just doing it to each other, like
I'm,
at the same time.
I'm sure. I in my vast amount of online gaming experience, I've played online gaming for a lot. I've always preferred, and probably is still to this day, even in work environments, as we were like doing telework, I've always preferred not to speak on the phone. I prefer to type because my thoughts to me are like much more focused, and even if I'm rambling on, they're still just, it's like this is an intentional thought and I formulated it and it's organized in a way that I wanted to present it. And uh in playing games with Matt have always been like, "Oh, ah, and we just make stupid noises at each other for forever and ever and ever and ever. Um,
Yeah, as someone that's played games with the two of you at the same time, I can attest to this. This is accurate.
yeah,
Yes.
it happens. But we talk about age and kind of trolling, like some kind of trolling behavior, meant not like necessarily intentionally like to piss people off, but uh like John Caulfield, we play games and we troll each other and we get pissed off at each other, which is a sign of a true friendship that we can get pissed off at each other and still be friends. Um, but my younger brother Brett had played a game with us, and I forget what it was. And at the end of it, we were just talking about like, well, he's a baby troll. Like he's still learning the art of like the appropriate amount of trolling. Um, which which then leads me to like, 5-10 years later when I'm playing League of Legends with my brother Brett and his friends, and then they're assholes to me, and I'm like, you guys are being assholes to me. I'm a goddamn adult. I'm not just gonna stick for it.
I am a grown man, and you will not speak to me that way.
And so you tell me to go mid. Yeah, I'm not going mid. And they didn't talk to me for a they actually banned me from their Discord. And, and then I played D&D with them a couple years later, and I don't think he was happy to see me. But anyway, all that being said, the reason I say something similar was Matt and I were playing Sea of Thieves with our friend Jimmy and our friend Aaron, and well, actually, it was just me and Matt, and Jimmy was like, "Hey, join me. There's this random guy that I've been playing with all day. Like, come join my session." And Matt and I are like, "Oh, okay, yeah, that's probably okay." And Jimmy said, "But you're gonna have to join game chat, not party chat. That way you can talk to him." And Matt and I both had the same reaction, and it was, "You have to join game chat to talk to a stranger?"
Ooh, ooh.
You know what? Maybe we'll just maybe we won't play. Um, we did. We got in there with a stranger, and it was the most awkward, uncomfortable thing. And then our friend Aaron showed up. He's like, "Hey, I want to play," and we're like, Matt and Jimmy were like, "Oh, hey, random guy, we have to go to bed." And then they didn't. They just ditched the guy,
Yeah.
and then we solo ship. So
I
it's all fun.
I wonder if there's like a generational thing to that because we're in our mid pushing late 30s now, and like we grew up with an evolution of video games where really like playing cooperative or your competitive multiplayer games where you did a lot of voice chat and things like that. That happened for us when we were already in our teens, early 20s, things like that, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So there's a lot of people that I work with that I know who are in their, early 20s now, who have grown up with, voice chat as the norm for them for video games. So
Yeah.
like when I got real hot and heavy into Overwatch and was playing that on a regular basis, it's a team-based game, and if you play competitive matches and aren't in the voice chat, people get like mad because they're calling out people to target, things to do as a team, and if you're not in that chat, like they get frustrated, and so that was for the people I was playing with, like from work. They're just like, yeah, jump in team chat, and they start trolling people, and like they have like a language to it, and there's a rhythm, and I'm just like, I'm gonna have push to talk on in case my kid walks in and they're like, hey dad, can I have a s'more please with some Nutella on it, and can you do that and make a tent in the living room?
You got a big fat ass. Oh, look. Oh, I bet you got a small penis. I got some small penis. I bet it flaps in the wind. It's so small. And you're like, okay,
I'm
good.
like, all right, I'm playing support. I'm not gonna heal you though. That's not what I'm doing. But yeah, it's weird. I know it's just the times that we live in. The times that we
Yeah,
live in. But
yeah.
so help
It's
me,
just
my kid, he'll be good at it, or he won't be playing at all, and he'll be relegated to an island, and that island is Animal Crossing. Was it New Horizons?
yeah. New Horizons. Animal fan. That's what my son named the island. I told you that, right?
Yeah, no, I know that because you visited my island
That's right.
from Animal Fan Island.
And every time
You've come over to the island of Glip Glop several times.
every time I see Animal Fan, I'm like, was my kid referencing George Orwell? That's weird. And he misspelled farm.
Yeah, he's a huge Animal Farm fan. Yeah,
Um, yeah. I let's talk about Animal Farm real quick. Um, okay. I Last time we talked, we said like, okay, Brandon will probably never play the game again, and then
yeah.
lo and behold, it's Sunday morning. Everyone's asleep. I'm bored. You know what? Let me pull up Animal Crossing, and uh, my son set up the Switch. He set up the island, but in order for us to get online to go to different islands, I had to create a profile attached to my Nintendo, online thing, whatever that's called.
Yeah.
And so I've spent over the last week or whatever a lot of time on that second profile, and um like so many materials, whatever, and there's nothing happening. There's no progression happening. Okay, no, not an ounce of progression happening. I'm like, okay, and then I was like, okay, well, let me do some time travel. Maybe that's what kicked it off, right? Like maybe do some time travel, maybe because I've been playing it. Well, nothing's happening. I got a lot of bells, the currency in the game, but nothing else. I'm like, how where's this shop that Travis has on his island? Uh, why can't I'd get the Nook miles, redeemed the ticket, I'd go to other islands, I'd invite people on, other animals, they'd be like, "Yeah, oh, we'll talk to Tom Nook."
You're from Animal Island? You're from Animal Fan?
Yeah. And they'd never show up even with time travel. I'm like, "What the heck is going on?" It wasn't until tonight, I was talking to Robert, my brother-in-law, and he was like, "Oh, do you have this is what you need to get, other animals on the island. Do you need, uh, this shop and this and that, and yada, yada, yada." And I'm like, "Is it tied to my profile?" And then I Googled it, and sure enough, in order to progress at all, you have to be playing with the person who set up the island in the first place. So I've wasted so much time with the secondary profile because you have to do the progression with
So
the
wait,
first.
so just for clarification, you have
Yes.
two user profiles on the Switch.
Yes.
The first person, your son's profile,
Mhm.
created a game, created an island,
Yes.
but your second profile,
Mhm.
you're on that same island.
Yes, because islands are tied to the Switch, right? Uh,
Huh.
but but that second profile tied to that island because it's on the same Switch cannot do the progression. So like if the museum's not established
Yeah.
or um
Or you
uh
haven't paid off your home loan.
right, like I've cheated so much now with so many bells that like I have an extra room on my house.
Sorry, Cyberdark says Tom Nook is a slumlord, and that just struck me as funny. Yeah, I mean a little bit.
Just a little bit. But yeah, and so what about the hour before we started getting prepared for this episode, I I started time traveling to try to catch up to get because I guess like after the first week, then everything is kind of by the numbers. Like the initial establishment of getting like the residential services up, so you can get plots of land and all that type of stuff. Once that's done, then you can continue on. But that initial like week long setup,
Yeah,
you have to do that with the person who made the island in the first place. And I did not know that until tonight after I
yeah.
wasted my time.
I didn't know that either. But I bought a Switch Lite, and I'm the only profile on it because I let the rest of my kids use the regular Switch, and I just take my little Switch Lite and I just doop 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 doop. Which, by the way, Switch Lite, a great little piece of hardware. If you want to uh, play some Switch games, you maybe only want it for the mobile purposes. I love it. It does make the Switch feel big, uh, which typically I wouldn't say that the Switch is like a large console, but because it is so much smaller, it does make the normal Nintendo Switch seem a lot bigger. But yeah, I don't know. It's a nice little
Mhm.
size. I'm excited to travel with it when that's something that we're allowed to do in this world again.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I don't know. It's I continue to play every day. As we speak, Tom Nook is hard at work upgrading the residence services building. So we're getting out of the tent and we're upgrading that town square. I'm very excited about who may be coming with that.
Ooh, ooh.
Yeah, yeah.
I my plans for next time I play the game is take my second profile with so many mats that I've acquired and just dump them in an open area and then let my first let the first profile pick all that stuff up
Do
and
they just stay there on the ground when you switch profiles?
they do, yeah. I did this little experiment on my brother-in-law's island where I went into like a random corner of his island on, say, Friday morning.
Mm-hmm.
I dropped just a single piece of wood there, and then I visited his island again on Sunday, and that same piece of wood was just sitting there in this same corner. So
I gotta say that was Robert's Island.
yeah,
He's doing very poor island maintenance, and
and
I don't respect him. You gotta get out there. You gotta cover that island end to end. You gotta figure out, what's happening. You gotta get
you gotta
those.
you gotta be like me, go to other people's islands and ransack them, and then force them to
You guys,
maintenance.
Brandon's on my island, and I'm like over here talking to all the neighbors that I have because I can actually socialize in the game and bring people to my island,
I don't like
unlike
talking out loud,
unlike
man.
some people. And I go back to the other side of my island, and Brandon has cut down like a whole like area full of trees. He's like basically cleared the whole area. I'm like, what is this deforestation? And what did you say? You're just like, it's island beautification. Don't worry about it. Yeah. What a guy. What a guy.
But you've since used that parcel of land to make an orchard, right?
That exact spot is where I have established the Glip Glop fruit orchard, with many trees popping up, and then if you just go up the river, just around the bend, that is where the bamboo is coming in very nicely. So,
Is there anything you need to do to make the bamboo spread? Like how do you
no,
make
when it so it doesn't spread on its own. It has the same sort of uh, principles as trees, basically. So after bamboo grows full grown, you can cut it with an axe and get bamboo shoots out of it, and it won't fall down. It's just like a tree; it'll stay up. But then there will be little X's around it that you can dig up and get more bamboo shoots, which you
Oh,
can then plant at the proper distance away. This has been Animal Crossing Tips with Brandon and Travis.
I'm laughing at D Squeeze and Alex Richmond saying one, deforestation is a crime against humanity, Brandon, and you're destroying habitats, Brandon. Look, sometimes you have to. It's the same concept as starting a fire in the forest so new life can bloom, and that's exactly what I did for Travis's island.
He did. He did. Um, and I had to work to move all my trees. But eventually those trees are going to come up, and I am going to start making all kinds of money off that foreign fruit market. Um, also, in other news, turnip prices are down today.
Uh,
Uh, I don't I don't know if you're riding checking that turnip stock market.
yeah,
Uh,
the time travel ruined all the turnips that I bought.
yeah, that'd do it. That would do it.
Yeah, but I did get 99,000 bells. So yeah,
Jeez.
it's a trade off.
So I'm curious because I will not ever time travel in the game because again, rule follower. How far did you go? What exactly did you do? How did that all play out for you?
I may not be doing it the most efficiently, but anytime the first time I ever did it, I was like, okay, it's 2020. You go to settings in your Switch, and then you turn off internet syncing, and then go down to the date and time, and you just the years. So I went from 2020 to 2060, and then restarted the game. And then when you go back into the game, Tom Nook will do is like no news because file two. And then in your mailbox it says how much interest you've received, and it's like 99,000 bells. And then you go back, then you save, you exit, and then you change the time back to 2020, or just turn on the sync, goes back to the accurate time. You keep your bells, and then you've effectively time traveled. Now, if you want, like if like in the case of what I'm doing
Does
now,
it make you change your character's name to either Doc or Biff?
no, no, it's John Connor is
Okay. The first time you get back to normal time, Tom Nook's announcement is like, "Have you seen this boy?"
and then he just like melts into a puddle.
He melts into the two other little like raccoon guys.
Animal Crossing. Uh,
Good stuff. Good stuff. D Squeeze has been harvesting tarantulas for his wife. Um, come with me if you want bells. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. Again, if you're playing Animal Crossing and you haven't added us, shoot us your friend code or ask us for ours. I'm not against sending you mine. Come hang out on the Isle of Glip Glop, and we'll have some fun. I need to have you been to what's his name, like Horace or the dog, the Herbs. Herb's got an island. I don't remember his name, but he's got an island that you can travel to, and it's just like a little area, and he's got a portrait studio.
Uh-huh.
And you can bring your friends there, and then you can redecorate the rooms for free with any stuff that you have in your catalog,
Okay.
and then use it to like make scenes or take pictures in these different rooms. So yeah, that.
My my brother-in-law has like his island looks really nice. Really, it's like really nice. And he has a like in front of his wife's house. There's a picture of Chris Farley. Uh, inside his house, he's right next to a picture of Coach, and and then I forget what the other one is, but it's like I mean it's pretty solid. Let me actually find a picture of it
So
real quick.
this is kind of baffling me. So if I had started the game on my normal the older regular Switch that we have,
Oh, Columbo. That's what he has.
everybody that uses the Switch would all be on the same island. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yes.
So like you have a house on Animal Fan, and so
Yep.
does your son.
Yes. Yep. That's how it works. The that's why at the very start of the game when it says if you erase the data to start a new island, you have to erase the data, but it erases the data for every user on that console. Because essentially, if you think about it, the Switch is your island.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Which
Uh,
is Switch is your island.
the Switch is your island. All right. Well, I think it is about time. Seeing as we didn't even get into the Egg Festival. Maybe we'll save that for next week. But yeah. So that is this episode. That is Apathetic Enthusiasm for this week. If you are listening on the audio version of the podcast, we appreciate you. We love you. Thank you guys so much for downloading, for subscribing. But if you're wondering, is there possibly more that we could be missing? There is, and it's the video version. If you want to see the pictures that we're holding up in front of our webcams and all of the chat shenanigans, head over to youtube.com/apathetic enthusiasm, where you can find the video versions of each of these episodes. You can watch along, see what we're talking about. Or head over to twitch.tv/apathetic enthusiasm. Follow us over there, and get notified when we go live, so that you can be part of the party, can hang out and let your voice be heard. And that's about it. We are now going to hang out for a little bit longer with those folks watching live. But thank you guys so much for listening. And until next time, I'm Travis.
And I am Brandon. Thank you so much. There it is. Wow.
And it's time for the Po show. All right, let's get back in this island talk. No, that is really interesting. That's not something I thought about, because my daughter started an island on our regular Switch. I just gave her the little chip, the card, the game card. So I could go play it over there. I would just have a different character on a different island, right?
Yeah. Like if you go play on theirs, then it is you playing. You'd start a different character.
Philip Marks doesn't know what Animal Crossing is.
It is. It's a time waster.
It is a quarantine filler, is what it is. It's just the right pace of game for me in times such as these, where I'm not going anywhere. There's no risk of going anywhere. And I can just, wake up on a Saturday morning and dump a couple of hours into fixing up the old island. Um,
Um,
I Go ahead.
Omar here. He says it looks so horrible. Lol. Uh, Omar's been trying to get me to play any kind of game with him on the PS4 for years. He also has his home arcade, so we all have our vices, but it's not a horrible game. It look that this is the thing about Nintendo is it always looks very cartoony and looks like it's a
Yeah.
boring game and looks like it wouldn't have that kind of excitement or entertainment factor. But just Nintendo is very deliberate about the games that they make. That they're like, I don't know how they do it, but they're like, we're gonna play test this till forever. 10 years later, we'll release this
Finally
game
release it.
to
What
make sure it's what we
First we're
want.
gonna release a pandemic in the world to make sure people are home to play it. Then we release the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's this is something we don't talk about, but conspiracy theories. Oh man. Oh, oh man.
There's a
We should
reason. There's a reason we don't talk about him, Brandon.
look, it's a new world order.
All right. Well, what do you guys think? What's on your mind? What topics do you want to discuss that we did not cover in this
Um
episode?
I did Sire Dark a long time ago. He asked a question. And I want to answer his question because he has questions. And why would I mean if he's going to ask questions and we never answer it, then he's never going to ask questions again. So let's go back in time. Let me time travel. Let me set my device back about 30 minutes.
Also, when you were saying you were time traveling, I totally thought you're like, oh, I'm gonna go like a week ahead and get to and then I'll come back. Not, I'm jumping 60 or 40 years in the future and collecting 40 years of interest and then coming back and
you,
just
you
being.
you can only get at max 99,000 bells of interest. By the
Yeah.
way, just letting you know that. Okay.
Fun fact.
Here's what Sardark asks at 9:26 and 29 seconds. Classic retro games, 80s to 2000s, you might revisit. I've been messing around with Quake 3 Fortress. Are there any games, Travis, 80s to 2000s, that you've considered revisiting?
I played Ice Climbers the other day.
Have, have you considered revisiting?
Yeah. So I got one of these guys right here. It's a Raspberry Pi.
Oh, mm-hmm.
And I have RetroPie loaded on there, and maybe a few games in emulator form that I've played on there. And there's some classic Zelda games that I've thought about playing, like Link to the Past, stuff like that. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Are you going? Are you going? You don't have a PS4 or Xbox even. I don't know if you're going to. Well, you have an Xbox.
I
That's
have an
stupid.
Xbox.
Are you going to play that Final Fantasy VII remake? You considering that? It's kind of like mid. It's like 96, 90.
We've talked about this on the show, Brandon. How many Final Fantasy games have I played?
Well, this is much more action oriented. But
How
one,
many? How
there's no
many?
zero. You can play-
Zero. The closest I've gotten to Final Fantasy VII is hanging out at my friend's house while his little brother played Final Fantasy VII. It looks good. I would be interested in playing it. Yeah. It you don't become one of the biggest properties in gaming by being bad necessarily. So, I mean, I assume it's probably pretty good.
Yeah, so the remake's coming out. What I was interested to find out is the this remake isn't a remake of the entire game. It is a remake of like the first 6 hours of the original game. Um, but they're spreading it out into like a 36 to 40 hour game. Um, I don't necessarily know how they're doing that because they're gonna make essentially sequels, or it's like chapters to it, right? Um,
Oh, so they're expanding it, getting into more detail.
yes, yes.
Yes, and leeching the content for all the dollars they can get the fans to spend. Kind of like when Peter Jackson made 3 movies out of The Hobbit instead of one,
Yeah, right, right. Because
even though it's just one book.
we needed the third movie that had nothing. Yeah. Um, I don't know if there's any games I plan to go back that far back and play.
Lemmings. Philip Mark's talking about Lemmings.
Oh shit!
Man, I burned some time on some Lemmings back in the day, for sure. Lemmings was fun. Yeah.
Um, I don't think they're. I played a lot of those games when they were new, and because that's I didn't have a family. I had video games.
Yeah. Blades of Steel. I remember playing that.
Crash Bandicoot.
That was a good
when,
one.
when I told Robert, my brother-in-law, that I wasn't progressing, and like I didn't have the Nook Market or whatever, and I didn't have all this other stuff. He kept asking like, "Well, do you have the upgraded residential service?" And I said, "No." He said, "Oh, did you upgrade the Nook thing?" I'm like, that wasn't an option. He's like, "I think you're playing Crash Bandicoot."
This you might be playing Sonic the Hedgehog right now. Is this Toe Jam and Earl? Anyway, that's
Avoid the Noid. Is that?
Avoid the Noid. That was the Domino's Pizza based video game from
Yeah,
way back in the day.
yeah.
Uh, yeah, that's so. If you go and talk to Tom with your character, he just wouldn't give you options.
Correct. Yeah, he's just like it says like uh what's up, or tell me about my house, or see you later. Those are the only options it would give me.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um
It's kind of frustrating that only one person can progress.
yeah. I to answer the question about 80s 90s stuff, I still do have the Mega Man collection. I might pick up the Castlevania collection, although I've beaten at least Castlevania 1 and 3 and Super Castlevania. But Castlevania 2, I think we talked about this before, just the quests are just like all over the place.
Hmm.
Um, Symphony of the Night. Ori and the Blind For or Will and the Wisps. I did download that. It's pretty cool. Sea of Thieves, pretty cool.
So,
Um,
Sea
you
of
could
Thieves, is that
pretty
something you
cool.
played a long time ago, or are you? Because I kind of want to try Sea of Thieves. I
Yeah.
just don't know if I want to do it by myself.
No, you don't want to do it by yourself. You want to do it with friends. By the way, me and Matt, our friend Jimmy, we call him Jims, and then Aaron. We play Sea of Thieves now. We just started doing it, but there's a lot of coordination that goes to the ship, and when you're friends with people, it's easy to voice chat. We can voice chat here, right?
Yeah,
Because I know you, and you know when I make intonations like this, you're like, oh well, he's not. I know he's being stupid. You got that type of thing. But with strangers, they don't have that historical
they don't
context.
quite know how stupid you are.
Exactly. But so on Sea of Thieves, you're on the ship. Somebody is steering port, starboard, all that type of jazz. You have to raise the sails. You have to change the angle of the sails. You have to raise the anchor. And the bigger the ship, the more that you have to maintain. There's 3 sets of sails on like the largest galleon. Um, and so if you're going towards an island, and you have this quest, and there's a treasure on this island, you get close to the island, and somebody who's steering the ship is like, somebody is like over voice chat saying, okay, keep turning star keep turning port or start, whatever, right or left. Keep turning right. Okay, okay.
Naval terms, whatever.
Straighten out, straighten out, straighten out. Okay, straight, straight, straight. Okay, 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 okay. Uh, okay, and then somebody who's running the anchor, be like, okay, tell me when to stop. Tell me when to drop anchor. Tell me when to drop anchor. Okay, okay, keep going right. Straighten it. Oh no, no, no. Turn left. Turn left. Turn. You're going to hit rocks. Okay. Oh, tell me when to drop anchor. Okay, drop, drop it, drop it. And then, hopefully you don't run into the shore. Um, and then you get off and get some gold, whatever. But it's that kind of like once you establish roles and who's doing what, then everything is fine. And then also you do sea shanties and play banjo. Yeah, there's that. It's so that's the why you should have other people playing with you. It's
Yeah.
more
Yeah.
fun when you're doing that type of stuff.
It's like when I tried to play Star Trek Bridge Crew on my VR, and my engineer kept speaking like a child that was in the same room as them, because the person was clearly playing VR like in their living room with the kid on the couch, and so you'd be like, all right, we need to increase the shields, and he's like, Dad, I want some chicken nuggets. And you're like, that kind of takes me out of the virtual reality. It's sort of not. That's not. Did I ever finish Trover? Yeah, I finished Trover. Yeah, I played. I finished Trover and played the DLC and played all the DLC as well. It's good. It's funny game. I know that there's some stuff I can go back and do, like on a second playthrough to unlock some other stuff. But I have played through all of what was out there.
A couple things. Philip, two points for Philip is one. Zombie ate my neighbors. Zombies ate my neighbors. Amazing game for Super NES. I agree with that. Never beat it. I guess it got harder. Well, yeah, 'cause I never beat it. Great game. I wish they'd like have a remake of that eventually. And the thing that blows my mind,
Mind blown.
he blew it. He blew it like I should give you money for this, because basically it's prostitute. You blew my mind. So that's weird. uh Port, like nobody knows what port and starboard is, right? They're like,
No,
oh,
nobody
left.
knows.
But
It's one of the great mysteries in life.
port is left because it has the same amount of letters in it. Easy. Fucking I can never forget that now.
Huh.
Port and left. Oh my gosh, thank you so much.
Yeah, I did not know that. I hardly know my right from my left though, so that's accurate. Yeah, go get that DLC. So the DLC is pretty sweet. It's kind of funny. It's really collection heavy, but it's got a cool little story of its own in it, which is pretty good. Just trying not to burp into my mic, guys.
That's what that was.
Port wine. It's my last Voodoo Ranger here.
Oh man.
IPA.
We were on Sea of Thieves. We found this very rare treasure chest. It was on a sunken ship, and we were trying to deliver it. And Matt fell asleep, I think. Uh, and while he slept, we're sailing to the ship. We're sailing to this island to drop it off, and then a gigantic fucking kraken attacked us. And then it was I went to work today at 7, and I went to bed at around 2 o'clock. I shouldn't have done that. But the Red Bull saved my life.
But yeah, I bet. Yeah, Matt, you in Twitch chat, you're always saying, "Hey, let's play." You guys are the reason I converted my remaining months of gold into a Game Pass. I did it for you guys,
And yet,
no one has said, "Hey, Trav, come play some Xbox."
I do all the time, and then you don't wake me up when I'm in my son's tent.
It's not for lack of trying, but there's also like, I'm not gonna call your phone. I stop short of straight up calling you and being like, Brandon, you fell asleep. Come play video games with me. Also, if you guys would like us to stream us playing Xbox, then don't forget to subscribe on Twitch, or donate some bits or something, because we don't own a console capture card, and we need one of those. Patreon.com/Rick and Morty Pod.
Yeah. Oh boy. All right. Well. Oh, that's how you start a sea shanty. By the way, Matt and I, we talked about how, and we've said this on the show before, but that every verse of "It's a Pirate's Life" ends with "Drink up me hearty yo-ho," and
Yeah.
just like went to the store, bought a loaf of bread, drink up me hearty yo-ho, stuff like that.
Pillage and plunder and don't give a hoot. So one of my favorite Disney-based shirts is the one I made that is in Helvetica, and it just says pillage and then the ampersand, pillage and plunder and rifle and loot. Yeah, and that's what it says on the shirt. Look at him dropping them bits. Look at that masterful streamer that I am, bringing in the big money. Thank you, Alex. Thank you, D Squeeze, for the 100 bits and the 10 bits.
Alex with D Squeeze with 100. Drink up me hearty yo-ho.
Yeah, you guys are the best. You guys are awesome. Yeah, we should play some Xbox at some point. But we should also play some Jackbox. I mean, we could.
Yeah, you remember that story about me staying up till 2?
Oh, you're all tired. He's all tired, guys.
But what?
He's
I mean, what do we got going on this weekend? Nothing.
He's sleepy. They did move my Wednesday meeting up till tomorrow, so I do have to remember to attend that via the internet.
We do have Memorial Day is this weekend, I think.
No, that's Easter.
Easter's this weekend. So let's do a celebratory Easter where we
a celebratory Easter. You don't know Jack. Are you on the computer where you can play this with me?
What? What are we doing?
I don't know. Do you wanna play a You Don't Know Jack real quick?
No, I don't. If we do anything, it's ARIO.
I mean, I'm not against it.
Oh, what do we have against Quibi?
Quibi? You mean
Quibi.
the 10-minute video thing? I don't have anything against it. Other than it's not going to be successful, and lots of people are going to put money into it instead of supporting our podcast.
That is a huge problem. They announced it during the Super Bowl, and it was bad timing to announce it during Super Bowl. No, I mean, not that they knew what was going to happen there, but they're like, oh, cool, pandemic. Let's double down on quick bits of video. I just with TikTok and all these other things, it gets to a point where like where's the real innovation with any of this type of stuff? It's similar to me where when we had Facebook came out, and then Facebook kind of like revolutionized social media, and then Google whatever Google's thing came out, and then everyone's like, oh, this is gonna be a Facebook killer, and my cynicism / pragmatism was like, there's people are already too invested in all their pictures and everything in Facebook. They're not going to move over.
Yeah.
Although now this Quibi is slightly different from that.
Well, Quibi is more of an entertainment platform, right? And yeah, go ahead and bring in my soapbox. Could you? Yes, this right here is fine. So cable and broadcast TV are like dead, right? They're on their deathbed. and people are not paying for cable. Like the people that are paying for cable, those numbers are going down, like month after month, year after year, and the media industry has to find a way to continue to sell what they're trying to sell wherever the eyeballs actually are. The eyeballs are on their phones, the eyeballs are on their streaming devices, and realistically, if people are either binge watching and watching 7 straight hours to Tiger King, or they're just watching quick little,
Yeah.
oh, I'm waiting for my food, I'm waiting for the train or whatever, and I've only got 10 minutes. I'll watch this quick episode real quick. So this is big media trying to create small digestible videos and get the eyeballs on their screens with that stuff, which is fine, but it's what we're all doing. Like, we're all creating content. We're creating content right now. The kids on TikTok that are doing the whoa and all their TikTok dances, they're creating content as well. Just like the kids that were on Vine were doing, 10 years ago, and that, people on YouTube are making millions of dollars doing. And it's those big business, like traditional TV, I feel like, trying to get a piece of that. Which is fine, if I, yeah,
It's
sure.
like
Burn it all
iHeartRadio
down.
having a
Burn it all
podcast.
down.
It's like iHeartRadio is like, yeah, let's legitimize podcasts and then get all the heavy hitters in there, and then they edge us out, right? Where's our market? I don't see anybody in here. Hang on. Okay. Anyways, that's creepy. I just, yeah, it's, yeah.
It's fine.
I'm
It's
always
fine.
I'm always
I
hesitant about big money infiltrating the little guy.
I feel the same way about Quibi as I do about, like, when Verizon tried to start running their own, like, short little TV shows on just like on their Verizon platforms and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I'm sure there's some quality content on there. I'm sure there is something that is like really funny or very entertaining in small portions. I'm and I'm sure very talented people and like writers that are barely making any money are scrambling to like come up with ideas for that content so that, you know, Chance the Rapper can reboot Punked on Quibi and stuff. Like I applaud those people. But yeah, like they're fighting, you know, grassroots creators that are putting in the work and writing and producing and distributing and doing everything themselves, and then hoping advertisers recognize them, or, you know, begging their patrons to do so, which is what we do with you. So thank you guys for loving us.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, you can take that soapbox out of here now. That's fine.
Okay. Take it away, guys.
Make sure to sanitize it. He wasn't wearing his mask.
Oh no. Um. All right. Well, everyone wants to do a Jackbox. We'll do one round because I do need to go to
You
sleep.
get your rest, but we'll play one game of Jackbox.
I do want to say about Quibi while you're setting that up.
Oh
There's
geez, what happened?
the
There we are.
whole
We're back. We're back.
like Funny or Die is no longer, but they there's so much stuff on there. Cracked when it was in its heyday, actually creating content with like Gladstone and stuff like that. Um, but now, Quibi, if they're paying the money and they're getting the comedy writers in there, then hey, more power to them. I'm just not going to pay for it.
Yeah, I already pay too much for the streaming services I have.
Oh, I do have semi-pertinent news for the next episode of Rick and Morty.
Hey, Could it be about what movie is it?
We
Ant-Man?
talk about writers.
Ant-Man?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. That's right. Yeah.
You guys
Love
hyped?
Lit.
You guys hyped for the next 5 episodes? You guys
Love
hyped
Lit.
for
Right in the
more? Hyped for more?
Free for 90 days. Ugh. Yeah, CBS tried to do that with me for the Twilight Zone. Like, no. Yeah. I'll wait till it's on Hulu. I mean, how much content can they have? If they're quick bites, 10 minutes each, 90 days. That's
Well,
like
if you think about it, if you produce a standard television show, now you've got 3 Quibbies, right?
yeah,
So
Quibbies.
you do the same amount of work and create 3 Quibbies instead of 1 regular episode.
You create 3 Quibbies.
Guys, Jackbox is doing something weird where every time I open it, it closes.
Crashes. Uh-oh.
So we'll try Jackbox 6, see if that one will run. And it will. So we're not playing Jackbox 5. Let's see. All right, give us a moment. Let's get our game capture up here.
I have 8% on my.
Oh, you're doing fine. You're doing fine.
It's just one. It's just one.
It's just a Quibi. It's just a Quibi, Brandon. All right, so this is gonna be the Jackbox Party Pack. Would you like me to do the remote play with you there?
No, we don't have to do all that.
Okay.
I'll just join the game, just like our friends and family inside the chat.
So trivia murder party? Is that
Yeah.
what we're feeling?
Yeah.
All right. So we're gonna hit you with a room code here, guys, if you're watching. So get ready for that.
Okay.
Also, let me bring up.
Okay. Ready.
Let me bring this stream back up. Okay, here we go.
All right.
All right. So here we go. Connecting to the Jackbox services. KDBK. That's your room code. I will also drop it in chat for you. KDBK.
Boom. Boom. I'm in there.
In there like swimwear.
Philip, yeah, let us know if you think it's worth it. I don't watch that much stuff anymore.
Yeah, I'm not on there enough.
Although Lego Masters, there's supposed to be a Star Wars episode. What happened to it?
I don't know. I'm a couple episodes behind, so I need to catch up on my Hulu's.
There's not a new
KDBK. Remember, go to jackbox.tv to get in the game. We have Cooter, Shampy, the Champ as a shark, no less. Alejandro R. I know there are more of you. I know there are. Hey, Cooter. Oh, nice use of the emote. That's one of the things about my life that I'll never, regret, is that I got to be a Twitch emote at some point in my life. All right, we'll give it about 10 more seconds, and then we'll go ahead and hit everybody's in.
Yeah, that's my new emote.
All right, everybody else will be in the audience.
Cool guy Travis.
Cool Trav. Cool Trav. That's me. I hit the everybody's in button. Didn't really work. Let's try it again. All right, here we go. Dropping those moats.
Local residents familiar with the abandoned
All right.
building's history.
We know how to play. Let's get some trivia on, guys.
This is your wake-up call. Prepare to die.
You do, yeah.
Welcome to Trivia Murder Party. This isn't an ice cream lovers convention after all, but a game of dire consequences.
Okay.
Only one of you will survive.
Yeah.
Quick tip, it's easier to win if you cut all emotional attachments now. Okay, first question.
First question.
The 3rd of May is a famous Goya painting that depicts what historical event? Use your device to answer the question.
Oh,
Time. And the correct answer is...
Spanish thing.
Who got the question right?
Not me.
The rest of you...
Was it me? Was it me?
It was not you, Brandon.
Put on
Was it the
do
Spanish one?
disturb sign.
Nobody
Word
expects the
101.
Spanish Inquisition.
Yay! I love using Cousin Aloysius's magic props. Pick a space inside the box to hide.
Where you gonna hide, Brandon? Where you
I
gonna
wish I
hide?
had a magician's assistant for this, but oh
In
well.
the top left.
Good spot. Ooh, another player's already hiding there.
Oh,
Any good
shoot.
magic trick needs some helpful volunteers. Good news, I'm giving
Yeah, this
you
is
a
our whole
sword.
D&D
On your
campaign right
device,
here.
choose a row or a column to run your sword through.
Oh, we didn't even talk about that tonight.
We didn't.
Sword noise!
Oh my god, crazy.
The Gob Man.
Yes!
I died so hard.
Shit, did I make it?
You did. You lived, Brandon.
Oh shoot.
Lived
Nice.
to trivia another day.
I am the best.
Don't worry.
Look at how
You're a
buff my
ghost now.
skeleton is, though.
Keep playing and you just might steal someone else's life force and win the game.
The double kill.
Let's keep moving. What does Amy Sedaris play on BoJack Horseman?
Oh, easy one.
I'm trying to remember who Amy Sedaris is.
Almost out of time.
She's in Strangers with Candy.
This.
Yes. Oh,
Which
Cooter.
leaves only you. Come with me.
Yeah, that's an easy one. That's an easy one.
Salutations! Welcome back to the killing room. Ah, the lost art of letter writing.
If you've never watched BoJack Horseman,
I'm going
Omar,
to dictate a
then
message
you
to
should.
you.
You've got plenty of
Write down
time.
as
You can
much
tell
of what I
right
say
now.
as you can. Everyone else will be typing too.
Wait, how did I not
And if
make
anyone
any
does a
money
better
for that?
job than you,
Totally got
you
that
die.
wrong.
Get your typing fingers ready because I'm starting right now.
Did I die in
Dear
that?
police, no
No.
need to stop by again. That's quite enough. That said, Officer Jones and Officer Smith are a delight. Officer Smith did a pratfall in some carpet blood. Officer Jones took a video for social media. I retweeted it. Time's up. Now let me just see what we have here with a quick... And what's the result? But did anyone do better than you?
Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm experimenting
You
with the
were
delay
not
as
the
everyone else
best.
is.
Yes.
Look at this nonsense.
Yeah, yes.
I try to go easy on that one, with the advantage of not being delayed.
Yeah.
This hotel hasn't been updated much since I was
But
a
I didn't
kid.
go easy
Same
enough.
carpet, a lot of the same bloodstains. It really brings me back.
Dear police.
Let's try another one. How old do you have to be to open a Facebook account? Time's running.
I don't know the answer to this.
This.
I
Only a ghost got
know
it
that
wrong.
from
Well, that's no
experience.
fun.
Is it though at 13?
Let's
Yeah.
keep moving.
Okay. Woo!
Who's Christian Bale's
Yeah,
stepmother?
last time I tried to open a 12-year-old account, it just didn't work. Oh, it's this one.
Almost out of
Obviously.
time. Who picked this?
Look at us. Look at a couple
One
of
of you is
hosts
still
just
alive.
taking the win.
It's time.
I don't know why I actually know that.
I straight up
Oh,
guessed
look,
it.
it's the loser wheel.
Ooh, Alejandro.
Give it a spin.
Are you gonna die, Alejandro?
If you get dizzy and puke, that's just icing on the death cake. This is why I
Man,
like the loser
I-
wheel so
Oh, I was
much.
so close. How did I end up in the lead?
I
We're here.
don't rightly know.
The final round is close.
The stream is still on the
Next
Facebook
question.
question.
Ew.
Which of these is the title of a Maya Angelou poem?
I don't know.
Picked this.
Seventh Heaven.
Oh.
Time
Oh,
for
why the caged bird
consequences.
sings.
Let's see if the safe players are good at forgery. The ghost of my Aunt Mildred loves to write words on mirrors.
What was the
She has
answer?
her own consistent
Oh,
handwriting.
it was
Now, Aunt Mildred is going to write a different word. But so
I
will
forget.
everyone else.
Murder She Wrote.
Draw a word
Oh,
on the mirror
really?
to
No.
camouflage
No.
Aunt Mildred's. Start
Oh.
writing on that mirror. Watch closely. One of these new words will be a word written by Aunt Mildred's ghost. So many convincing words to choose from. Now, type the word that Aunt Mildred wrote, or you die.
Oh god. Terrible.
Will the real
It's a
Aunt Mildred
terrible
please stand up?
disadvantage for anyone who's on stream.
Aunt Mildred would never say that. Let me show you what's behind the looking glass.
There's no way in hell I know what Aunt Mildred wrote on the thing in that time.
I don't know what she wrote either.
Oops, didn't mean to kill all of you, but I still need
Early
one alive
edition.
player.
You talking
So,
about hard copy? Is that
See, having the most money is good for something. The time has come.
Touched by an Angel? That's what
Touched
she-
by an Angel. That was it. That was it.
yeah.
Glad to see you're the one to make it here alive, but will you be the one to escape? I'm going to give you a category. Bottom row of the QWERTY keyboard.
Midnight.
Tap each answer that fits the category and then press submit. Time. Let's see the right answers.
If only I had a QWERTY keyboard right in
Advance
front
one
of me.
space for every correct answer. You're on your way to escaping, but you're not alone in here. If a ghost catches you, he'll steal your life force. Then they can try to escape and win the game. Here's everyone's next question. And ghosts get a third choice to help them catch up to you. Time is almost up.
Dentist net. Orange Crush.
Butterfly life cycle stages. Time is almost up.
Oh, what a fool I've been. Crystal List.
Celebrity perfumes.
I mean, is perfume is cologne a perfume?
Wow.
That ghost can smell your life force. Don't fall behind. Here comes the darkness.
I don't know if I'm getting it right. I
South
don't know if I'm getting it
Africa.
wrong.
Got a good shot here, Alan.
You work around the neck.
I managed to get them all wrong.
Yikes, there's a ghost right behind you.
Oh, Champy.
Darkness. Parts of an animal cell. Time is almost up.
Chloroplast, I believe that's correct. Man.
Chlorophyll. More like borophyll.
Contains peanuts.
Ah. I thought it was a crispy.
It could steal your life force. The darkness approaches.
Do it, Brandon.
This will slow you down.
You gotta get them all right.
That barrier. You'll need a perfect answer to this question. And that includes the third answer choice now, too.
Oh shit. Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
Force to live life force.
Not gonna happen.
Oh no, Cooter.
Operas.
I might be here.
Hey, everybody knows their operas. So silly. So silly. Great job, Alejandro.
Was that close?
Yeah, you're close. You're close. I still managed to have the most money somehow. But good job. Good job, guys.
Good job, everyone. Good job. That was fun. Now I see the problems with streaming.
Yeah, there are problems. No, we're not saying there aren't.
We're not perfect. I felt like I was time traveling, so really getting
Ooh, just like on the island.
lost.
Ooh. I kind of want my kid to watch Lost. I think I want Allie to watch that show.
Let's do it.
So.
I mean, you can.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Well, thank you guys for hanging out. Thank you guys for listening to the podcast, for contributing. You guys are the best. And I'm gonna go work on my island because Brandon's going to bed.
Yes, I am doing that so I can wake up and make some decisions in the morning and not be fatigued about them.
But look for us later in the week. Maybe we'll post something. Maybe we won't. Make sure you're following our social media for the pictures of our puppet designs. We'll get those up this week. And that's it for now. We will talk to y'all later. Hang in there. I know times are crazy, but we'll get through this one podcast at a time.
That's right.
And until then,
Yeah,
bye.
see you later.
For it. Here it is.
It's leaving. We're